Hello, everyone. Welcome to Zymr Tech Podcast, where we dive deep into the latest trends and challenges in the tech and digital world. I'm Chloe Upton, Sales and Marketing Specialist at Zymr and your host for today. Joining me is our in-house digital transformation expert, Sam Wyatt. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks, Chloe. Excited to be here and discuss some crucial aspects of modern digital ecosystems.
Sure, Sam. I should just tell our listeners that in today's episode, we will focus on a crucial topic for any tech-driven enterprise: software testing. We will start off by discussing how to choose the right framework for automated enterprise testing, the strategic importance of continuous testing in DevOps, and finally, security testing in DevSecOps. Are you excited for today's discussion, Sam?
I sure am, Chloe. Software testing has always been one of my favorite subjects. I can talk about it for days.
All right, then, let's get right into it. So, Sam, let's begin with your initial thoughts on enterprise application testing and where it stands in our dynamic business environment.
You're very right, Chloe. It is a dynamic environment, and enterprises are constantly evolving. Digital ecosystems are becoming the backbone of any organization, whether healthcare, retail, fintech, or any other. Digital has become the de facto channel for connecting everything from business processes to customers and vendors. Moreover, we are now also keenly modernizing our applications. There's AI, IoT, and all these other new technologies that demand us to stay ahead of the curve. So ensuring the quality and reliability of these digital ecosystems and applications becomes a huge concern for any enterprise. We want to avoid downtime scenarios. We want the user experience to be smooth. We don't want to be fighting fires all the time. This is where enterprise application testing comes into play. We need technology stacks that are immense and essential in running business-critical processes across industries. Enterprise resource planning, customer relationship management, product lifecycle management, and so much more. These applications are interconnected like cogs in a machine. Therefore, thoroughly testing these systems is necessary to ensure they are working as expected.
Totally agree with you, Sam. The enterprise applications are so complex, and there are frequent updates and customizations. The testing apparatus can break down pretty easily.
Sure, and this is when we already have technologies like continuous testing in the market. We are facing a big challenge to ensure end-to-end testing with environments more diverse and complicated than ever. We want the QA strategies to be able to access all the necessary departments with all their testing requirements, legacy ecosystems, and their role in end-user satisfaction. So yeah, there is an intense need to invest in robust enterprise application testing to ensure that digital products and services meet high-quality standards and deliver positive user experiences.
Absolutely. So, as you pointed out, continuous testing is already appealing to business leaders and technology experts. But we do need sophisticated test automation frameworks for anything like continuous testing or shift left to work. So, can tell our listeners more about the test automation frameworks that are out there?
Sure. And let me tell you, Chloe, these are the most exciting times for test automation because there are a lot of options. For instance, let's begin with module-based testing. Here, the application is divided into isolated modules for testing. So each module has a dedicated test script, and there is high modularization. Here, the maintenance is easier and more cost-effective. When changes occur, only the affected test script needs to be adjusted. Then we have a library architecture testing framework that builds on the concept of module-based testing, but with some modifications. Here, instead of separating the application into test scripts, we divide it into reusable functions that can be employed by other parts of the application. Then we have data-driven testing, which seems to be very popular these days. In data-driven testing, we are allowed to separate the logic and data for the test script. This framework reduces the number of scripts required to cover various test scenarios. The plus side is that with less code and demands very low maintainability. We also have keyword-driven testing that extends the concept of data-driven testing by segregating both test data and test script code into external data files. Moreover, if you want to combine multiple frameworks and go hybrid, you can opt for that too. An important one that I would like to talk about is behavior-driven development. Behavior-driven development, or BDD as we call it, focuses on creating tests based on a table of conditions as inputs and verifiable outputs. Testers provide inputs from a row in the table and expect outputs from the same row. BDD does not require extensive programming knowledge and promotes collaboration between testers and non-technical stakeholders.
Sure. In fact, Zymr has worked with all these frameworks in different capacities and for various of our clients. Sam, I would like you to talk in detail about what goes into choosing the right framework for enterprise test automation.
Absolutely, Chloe. To select the test automation framework that truly works for your organization, you first need to evaluate the nature of the applications and the technologies that you want to involve. Based on the complexity of the workflow and the user experience, you should be able to narrow down what you expect from test automation. Based on whether any given framework can accommodate the complexity and scope of your testing scenarios, you can make a more educated choice. For instance, if your application is large and complex, you might want to go with module-based testing. If there are reusable functions across the application, you might want to consider library architecture. On the other hand, if you are working on an application that demands collaboration between technical and non-technical stakeholders, then maybe BDD is your best bet. Of course, different frameworks come with different licensing costs and skill set requirements. Based on that, you might need an in-house expert, or you can outsource to someone like Zymr. What is equally important is to have evaluation criteria that would help you assess various parameters of your framework like ease of scripting, integration capabilities, usage, etc. This will help you compare and select the most suitable tool for your organization.
Those are some really fascinating insights, Sam. I think now that our listeners are more equipped to choose what would work best for their digital ecosystems, let's take our discussion a notch higher. Let's talk about the new way of testing, continuous testing. So, Sam, for our listeners who might not be familiar, what is continuous testing and why, now more than Eve, is it so crucial in software development?
Great question, Chloe. Continuous testing is executing automated tests throughout the software development lifecycle. Its primary goal is to provide rapid feedback on the state of the software, allowing developers to correct issues as early as possible. This process is integral to the DevOps model, ensuring optimal software quality and swift delivery.
That sounds incredibly important. Now, Sam, how does continuous testing play a vital role in the DevOps model?
In DevOps, continuous testing is integrated into every pipeline stage, from unit testing to acceptance testing. It helps identify defects and issues in the early stages, minimizing the risk of production problems and enhancing overall software quality. It's a game changer for accelerating software delivery.
From the traditional waterfall model to Agile and now DevOps, we've seen quite an evolution in software development methodologies. How has continuous testing adapted to these changes?
That's a great observation, Chloe. The traditional waterfall model followed a sequential approach to quality assurance, leading to delays and increased costs. Agile brought testing into the SDLC, focusing on continuous feedback. However, the true game changer has been the DevOps model. Testing became automated, continuous integration and delivery became the norm, reducing time to market and enhancing collaboration.
Impressive. Now let's dive into the benefits of continuous testing in DevOps. Can you walk us through some of these advantages?
Absolutely, Chloe. Continuous testing brings accelerated time to market, improved collaboration by providing ongoing feedback, enhanced software quality through early defect detection, and cost reduction by identifying and fixing defects early in the development cycle. It's a win-win for both developers and organizations.
Fantastic. Now, despite its benefits, continuous testing does come with its own set of challenges. Can you share some of these challenges with our listeners?
Of course. Challenges include testing data management, ensuring a consistent and reliable test environment, and maintaining automation scripts as the application evolves. These are common hurdles, but with the right strategies, they can be overcome.
And speaking of overcoming challenges, what are some strategies to tackle these continuous testing challenges?
Well, Chloe, for test data management, synthetic test data can be used to ensure relevance. Containerization technology like Docker can ensure a consistent test environment. Regular maintenance and refactoring of automation scripts are essential to keep them up to date and relevant.
Great insights, Sam. Now, let's talk about emerging technologies in continuous testing. How is AI and ML shaping the future of continuous testing?
AI and ML automate test case generation, reducing the need for manual testing. This allows testers to comprehensively and frequently test applications, ensuring quick identification and resolution of defects. It's a significant leap forward in the efficiency of continuous testing.
Fascinating. And what about automation in continuous testing? How is it transforming the testing lifecycle?
Automation in continuous testing involves using automated tools and processes to execute software tests repeatedly and consistently. It covers various stages of the testing lifecycle, including planning, design, execution, and reporting. Automation is critical to achieving the speed and consistency required in continuous testing.
Now let's bring it all together. How does DevOps fit into the world of continuous testing?
In continuous testing, DevOps emphasizes integrating testing into the development process, enabling early defect detection. It promotes automation, collaboration, and communication between development and operations teams. This ensures faster and more efficient testing and deployment, aligning with the core principles of DevOps.
Amazing insights, Sam. I'm also interested in what future trends you see gaining traction in continuous testing.
Cloud-based testing, shift-left testing, and security testing are vital trends. Cloud-based testing, leveraging cloud technology, offers benefits like ease of deployment and quick setup time. Shift-left testing involves testing earlier in the development cycle to identify and address defects as early as possible. Security testing is crucial to ensure software development's highest quality and security levels.
Absolutely fascinating. The strategic importance of continuous testing in DevOps is something our listeners surely know the ins and outs of, which bring me to the next interesting concept in enterprise software testing, security testing.
Oh, security testing is something that has all my heart, Chloe. We are living in the digital age. DevOps and DevSecOps are like the cornerstones when it comes to software development, but the need for speed sometimes overshadows security in our CI/CD pipelines. So there's a dire need to maintain a delicate balance.
That is so true. Like, when you think about the contribution of DevOps, be it breaking down silos between development and operations teams, the focus it brings on continuous integration and continuous deployment, all it does to help companies deliver software faster. I mean, it's too crucial a resource to be ignored by the security lens.
Exactly, and especially now that cyber attacks are becoming more sophisticated. I was reading this article in the Financial Times where one of the senior executives from JP Morgan Chase mentioned how they're spending billions of dollars to ensure to keep up with the security needs along with the technology advancements. And frequent organizations cannot afford to neglect security. Just think about this. A single security breach can lead to financial losses, damage to reputation, and compromise customer data. So yeah, integrating security concerns in your DevOps strategy is just how it has to be going forward.
Which brings us back to our topic, security testing in DevSecOps. So Sam, as you said, security testing is a crucial component of any software development project. We need to identify vulnerabilities, we need to pinpoint the weaknesses, and we need to do away with the risks as much as possible. But can you talk about what motivations lead security testing to ensure that the application can withstand potential attacks, that the sensitive customer data is protected, or the compliance standards are verified?
Yes. So it comes down to three principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's your core for security testing. You want to implement measures to prevent unauthorized access to confidential information. You want to focus on identifying vulnerabilities that could harm the data integrity. And you want to root out the vulnerabilities that could lead to service disruptions, downtime, or denial of service attacks. So no matter what kind of security testing resources you are integrating into your DevSecOps pipeline, these three principles need to be at the very fundamental level of your strategy. Once we have these principles down, then we can plan for, vulnerability scanning, for example, where you scan the system or application for known vulnerabilities and weaknesses. You can employ penetration testing, where you'll understand the impact of potential security breaches and identify areas that require immediate attention. There's ethical hacking, where organizations identify security vulnerabilities that may not be evident through traditional security testing methods. But we can gain some valuable insights into the effectiveness of their security measures. Of course, there's always risk assessment that involves evaluating the potential risks and impacts associated with specific vulnerabilities. The list goes on: security scanning, security review, and so on.
Sam, when we talk about DevSecOps in particular, there's also the necessary concept of automation. Even with security testing, there has to be a way to adopt automated security testing to streamline the testing process, reducing human error and enabling faster identification and remediation.
Definitely. And that's why we now have more sophisticated security testing methodologies that align well with automation. Take SAST, for example, static application security testing. SAST can help you analyze the source code. It has the tools that help you scan for potential security issues, insecure patterns, hard-coded secrets, and insecure third-party libraries. SAST can help you with all of this. We also have DAST, which is Dynamic Application Security Testing. If you integrate DAST tools into the testing process, you can identify and address vulnerabilities in web applications before they are deployed to production. Then we have container scanning and vulnerable dependency analysis, where you can employ tools such as Claire and Anchor Engine that can scan containers for known vulnerabilities and provide reports on vulnerable components. We have software composition analysis that can help analyze and identify vulnerabilities in third-party libraries to ensure that the software is built using secure and up-to-date components.
So, from what I understand from our discussion, is that DevSecOps provides a framework for combining the principles of DevOps with security testing. And if you use it wisely, you can ensure that software applications are not only delivered faster, but are also robust, reliable, and secure.
100%. There has to be a comprehensive approach that covers vulnerability scanning, ethical hacking, risk assessment, and all that. But once incorporated, these practices can ensure the delivery of secure and reliable applications, as you said, and that helps you build trust with your customers. That is the most essential part, safeguarding that reputation of trust with the customer.
All right, so listeners, we hope you learned much about software testing, continuous testing, security testing, and more. We'll be back with more insights from the digital world. Till then, thank you for joining us. You've been listening to the Zymr Tech Podcast. Goodbye.